So we're here on French Pass. We've got a really low elo game. This guy has never won a ranked match before. Let's see what he does. Okay, so he's got standard opening. And here's a little deviation from the normal build order. He was right to go all on sheep to the start. But now he's playing kind of like the old school 2-2-2 build that English had. Yeah, trying to build too many things at once. Okay. So first tip, Bruno, if you're watching this, good standard build order for English is to put 7 on food, 3 on gold, and then start taking wood. Right now, you're splitting yourself too thin. Also, these berries, English's bonus is that they have better farms. So typically, you're not going to go for berries as English, especially this early, as sheep gather faster than berries. They know in the chat is saying early wheelbarrow. It'd be a really early wheelbarrow. Let's take a look at what the French is doing. The French have a more normal setup, although they built a lumber camp for... Oh, he is getting early wheelbarrow. Okay. I mean, I guess I used to play 2-2-2 way back. But yeah, it's a valid way to play English. Haven't done it. Let's see. Do we see a quick garrison here? Nope. Gonna let the French scout get away. Yeah. French just have this lumber camp hanging out. Also going to berries. Yeah, it was, but it does... From what I remember, I stopped playing 2-2-2 after Season 2, but it does set your eco up amazingly for the start of Feudal. Okay, so he's course corrected. He's got just sending it to food at this point. Let's see what you've scouted. Okay, that's a fine scouting path. It's French Pass. You know that the middle is gold. You're not going to take anything. But yeah, as people in the chat are saying, going 2-2-2 means you're going to be up to feudal a little later. Not a great play against the French, who are going to pressure you immediately as soon as they can, trying to get a knight on the field. Yeah, okay. Here's another thing to notice. This farm should have been over here. English has better farms, but they only work... If you take a look at this little radius right here, the farms around the mill give you increased gathering speed. These farms aren't doing anything for you and are kind of a waste of wood investment at this point in the game. Same thing going for forestry. Not yet. You only got 3 guys chopping on trees. Forestry is kind of a get it when you think of it, like mid-feudal. Not a super important tech, but by the time you're mid-feudal, it's cheap enough. It does slightly boost your wood gathering efficiency. But when you have so few villagers, it's not needed. Yeah, always put the farms under the mill. There really is no reason not to. So you can see on the screen right now the influence bonus rates for gathering food. Alright. So you're walling in. Got the wood to do it. Meanwhile, your Dark Age eco is kind of messed up. You've way over-farmed. 600 to 400. It's not really where you want to be. Also, only 2 on the Council Hall isn't a great play. unless you're specifically going for a fast second TC. Which, I mean, if you're walling off, maybe you're looking to eco boom. French Pass can be a really boomy map. But if you're looking to play aggressive, this is just a waste of resources that could have gone into longbows. Although your opponents get the same idea here. Taking a really aggressive wall against you. And taking a look at the time here, and your landmark time, you are way far behind, and especially against French, that is not where you want to be. Because French is looking to get their Royal Knights on your economy as soon as possible. Now, we're playing in a lower elo, so, like, the Knight hasn't hit you. It's 6 minutes into the game, and the Knight's not there yet. As you get better and better, you've got to, like, expect 4 minutes, 45 seconds, a Knight on your doorstep. Yeah, and you're also not able to get spears until you go to feudal. Now, you pulled 4 off your council hall to build a tower. That tower's not going to do much for you. The Knights have such high pierce armor that if you're building this tower to try to defend against Knights, you are better off, as you're building now, going into a barracks. So, your opponent's trying to wall you in. You're playing really cheeky here in low elo. That's fair. You're English. You actually are. You can play in a tiny ass economy and still do well. They can squeeze you in, and you can still just be fine. But once again, these farms need to be within influence range of this mill. Plus, you got a farm that you built that you're not using. Good work, though. Recognizing that you need to refresh lumber camps. That's something to be aware of every time you scan for your eco. Try to get a look at, you know, where's my lumber camp at? Is it time to throw a new one down? I like to call for that. So, right now, because you're playing in a lower elo game, you're very lucky that your opponent hasn't done anything with their early Knights. Right now, any normal French player would be taking these Knights, and instead of defending, instead of taking this stone, what? They'd be harassing you. They'd be trying to find angles, like around your wood line, to hit some vills. Anything that's exposed. Maybe taking these guys on berries. Now, I see what you're doing with the outposts. I see you're trying to get additional vision. You are kind of blind here. Meanwhile, your opponent can see if you try to make a move at all, which once again really isn't an issue if you're playing English. You can boom up safely in your little corner if you want. But now, you see you've dropped 3 farms here. No one's working on them. These farms will gather so much faster than these berries. You're looking at, in feudal right now, a 20% gather rate boost, which is huge. Same thing, like, delete these farms. Get them out of here. I don't want to see them. They're in the mill radius, they're just not built. Alright, let's talk about what you're opening up for your composition. Also, taking a look at what you're floating for resources. You're about ready to go to castle. Same thing with your opponent at this point. So you've recognized that he's building knights. But you don't really know much, because you are walled in. If you were able to poke down one of the walls and get a scout out to see what your opponent's doing, that would be huge. But yeah, that's fine. You're playing on the back foot. You're defending against perceived French aggression. There we go. Now we got some good farmers. See, this blacksmith takes up a tile of your mill radius here. But let's take a look at this first engagement. Alright, good. Get the spears out. You're not losing any longbows. You can fend off the knights. You can send them home. They're going to run all the way back. They're scared of you. Your opponent's going up with Royal Institute. Now, question. When you watch this, let me know in Discord thought process of why the White Tower. You're already in a good defensive position. I think the call is King's Palace. Get up to Castle, get your second TC, be able to produce double villagers, really boost your economy so that you can create a giant mass and move out of your base and take on the French. Right now, the French do have you in a corner. You do have a few gold mines. But as we move into Castle, they're going to start grabbing the relics. They're going to start vying for these larger gold veins. They're going to take this weirdly forward stone. Taking a look. Okay, so you're all huddled in. You see that they hit Castle. You're like, okay. Now I'm nervous. I gotta get up to Castle myself. Yep, and I see you taking blacksmith techs. Getting rams is good. I mean, I know you want to bust down the walls. That's fine. You'd be taking it anyway. And good to get ranged attack next. Honestly, ranged attack, ranged defense are the most important techs to get throughout the entire game. Yeah, melee armor. Those knights, they don't give a shit if you have +1 defense. They're doing 17 damage to you. 16 is not much different to them. I think he knows about... Yeah. Pretty sure he knows about this. So, one of the resources in RTS is also knowledge, map knowledge, vision, scouting. Scouting's a resource. Intelligence. What's your opponent doing? What units should you make to counter what your opponent's doing? Right now, you have none of that. But you are, I gotta give this to you, you are remembering to queue up villagers, which is a big part of, you know, getting out of silver, getting out of gold, is constant villager production. There is no way a 1TC English shouldn't have... There's no way they should have 10 more vills than a 1TC French player. About to be 2 TCs. Now, okay, you're like, you got the RAM technology, you want to bust out of your base, and that's, you know, that's fair play. Thing is about palisade walls is they don't have a lot of health. Gates really don't have a lot of health either. You could send a bunch of spears and burn this down. You also do have the White Tower. That gives you, that's a super production building for anything in the game. So you got rams on the field, you could generate rams through the White Tower. You could also, I saw it for a second, drop trebs I know, he has to win a game first before he gets out of here. How are we looking on the eco upgrades? Okay. 12 on gold. You should be picking up specialized pick at this point. That should be already researched. You've got increased chopping. You've got wheelbarrow and horticulture, which is good. This is really rustling my jimmies right here. Click on a mill, you can see these plus signs. Please, if you're going to play English, build the farms around the mills. So, while we were focusing on you, what's the French player doing? They're going Arbitrary, they're going 2TC, Arbitrary, Men-at-Arms, nice. They're about to pass you in military, especially tech on military soon. You've got to make some sort of fight here. Get some sort of advantage. Good engagement, having the spears up front. You are going to chew through his knights. That's big. That's big. Yeah, and now just get the rest of your army onto the ARBs. Good engagement. Good engagement. Those ARBs are going to shred your men-at-arms, but you keep bringing your longbows forward, and you'll be fine. Also, don't be scared of this TC. 2 rams on this TC are going to be fine. We'll see if your opponent pulls the Vills to try to take down the rams. But yeah, great call. Putting these rams immediately on the second TC. What you need to be doing right now, though, you've got all these resources. There's nothing in the queue for you. You're not building anything else. Meanwhile, he's got 5 men-at-arms coming out. Okay, now you've got some units coming. But what does your production look like? Coming out of the White Tower, that's fair, because it gives you increased build speed. Bunch of crossbows coming out of Council Hall. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If you were in a pinch, though, you've only got 1 stable as another production building. You could certainly start moving into building some more production. Meanwhile, you see you're pretty heavy on gold right now compared to food. Just plopping down another mill and getting another 8 farms around it would be great. You get the Treb on the wall. Treb needs to move forward and take down that town center. And these units need to be joining the fight right now. Meanwhile, these longbows need to start picking off the arbitrary in the back. I mean, good job getting some Vills. Still maintaining a Vill advantage against France 2TC, which is wild. Okay, you're looking to get some raids in. Knights on the Vills. Ranged units on other units. Oh, this is all good. Just now you gotta pull back a little bit. Pull back a little bit. You don't want this TC to eat up all of your units, which it's going to do. That town center just decimated your army. Or whatever the inverse of decimation is. You got 90% of it. Yeah! And I wonder, like, if you want to know where the game was lost, it was losing this army by bringing units too far forward underneath the TC and not moving back. This trap should still be on the town center. So your opponent is going heavy into crossbows. Crossbows knights, adding some spears, which is smart, because you're making cows. But where's your production? don't need this ram right now. You got the treb. So now you're in trouble. You're still up in Vills.
Something to shed.
But you need to drop more production buildings. And also transition into farms that make more sense. Look, you got 3 farms here that aren't being worked on. Now what do you see? Nothing. And when you get to the point, one day you'll get to the point where you'll have enough like mental APM to come out this side, send a little scout unit, a little raiding party, notice he's got walls, burn some walls down, and try to make a little push through this angle. Because what you're doing with your economy looks so much better than what the French is doing. Like, this is garbage. I'm trying to find where the other lumberjacks are. Oh yeah, this keep does nothing for you. This keep is garbage. 100% garbage. Absolute waste of stone. Because look, now he's dropping a keep, and now we've entered into basically the siege wars here. So if you can get your 2 trebs on that keep, that's big. You can force his military back a bit. These mangonel should be right on the villager. You've got to be committing war crimes right now. See, now you can't engage into it. Great mango shots, though. Absolutely wiping out the crossbows. Unfortunately, you just don't have the military to back this up. You have the resources. Another great mango shot, dude. But look at this. Look at all these resources, and there is nothing in production. But good call here. Look at this. You're building farms around a mill. No. Boo, boo, boo. No one likes these. Yo, what's up, Conky? I am casting. There's some dude in the Griobara who has never won a ranked match. And I'm looking at one of his replays. Wingard Palace? Good. If you're going up to Imp, that's the landmark. Unfortunately, you are gold screwed, my dude. It is wild that 2TC French has less bills than 1TC English. So you're gold screwed. You need to throw down a market. You can get enclosures. I think Imp might not be the play right now because you just don't have the gold to afford any upgrades that Imp would give you. You've got to invest more into map control, maybe pushing out here, trying to secure at least this gold mine, trying to pick up some relics. Let's take a look. Take a look at all of the farms that don't have a plus on them. You really do want every single farm to have a plus on it. Okay. You made it to Imp. You have no gold income. That's true, Royal Winner. But enclosures costs gold to research. He's gonna come up with 350 gold. And there it is. Okay. Good job. Good job with the market. Good call.
I'm fine with that. Could I go with work?
All right, you gotta sell some of this. So, you went Wingard. Wingard Army is a great tech. You need gold, though. Going Imp with no source of gold is not the play. Okay, you're selling. You're selling at the market. What are you going to invest this into? It's got to be enclosures. You do need some... There you go. Good job. You do need some sort of gold income. And honestly, this army, what is it doing? What is this army getting? You have feudal horsemen attacking under a keep. No, no, no. Come out here. See what's going on the south side of the map. Okay. You realize, like, oh shit, I need to drop a mining camp somewhere. You know it's here. I guess you haven't scouted these walls. You should know there's a relic here, though. Dropping a monastery, getting a monk out, securing that relic would be great. Thank you for the follow, Royal Winner. Yeah, and I mean, Bruno, I have struggled with this as well, getting tunnel vision. Like, you know, oh, shoot, his stuff's here. I gotta protect against anything he could send out. As you get better at the game, you gotta know to send units around flank. And also deal with this French guy. Hey, what's up, Schwarmbewusstein? Did I play you last night? Hideout on English versus Ottomans, where I did auto trade. Oh, that sneak! I'm loving the sneak around the side. Unfortunately, you do need military to contest this, and they're gonna drop a tower, and you're gonna scream because there's a tower right on your source of gold income. Yeah, French has had insane map controls since minute 1. Little exaggeration, but not much of an exaggeration. They were building these walls in early feudal. And now you're sending these units in. Bruno, these are feudal forces. They're gonna get ripped apart. You might be nervous, just like, well, I gotta attack sometime. And that is not the comp to attack them. Thanks for the follow, dude. Were you the guy with the name that I can't say if I'm going to upload this cast to YouTube? And thank you, Ed Dog. All right. You've denied this tower. Holy crap. I look away, and you're a god. Somehow forcing those bills back. All right, I've seen you KP. We played the other night. So, right now what you're doing is great. I think you're really far behind, though. One of the big things in this game is resources. and how they don't do anything if they stay in your bank. Yeah, craft. Craft Beepus. So you've managed to secure this gold mine, which is huge. Honestly. You should not be sitting on 8,000 food. You need to drop more production buildings. See this? You got a barracks that is trying to push out 1,000,000 men-at-arms. It's going to take forever. You got to drop more production. You got the wood for it, and you can just start selling food. Just go to the market. Just hold shift. Shift Z. Slam the keyboard down. You got to get gold because you're an Imperial. You need upgrades on your unit. The French player knows what they're doing. They got elite knights. What do you have to counter that? You got Castle Age crossbows. You got Castle Age knights. You got Castle Age men-at-arms. These knights are gonna just clown on you. And because it's French Pass, your opponents also started trading. I've neglected to bring it up this entire time, but you could have totally had a trade route going with this trade post. Yeah, go for this sacred site. Go for this relic. There's a lot of sources of passive gold. Okay, okay. You've heard me from the future. You're building production. Unfortunately, I don't know what you're going to do against this army. It just out-techs you, 100%. These spears are still feudal spears. You've got your longbows focused on a royal cannon. They're doing nothing. The longbows need to be the arbitrary, and they're being chewed up by the mangoes. So even if you wanted to take that fight, even if you wanted to take that fight, you could alert them back to your white tower. Try to get them to attack the walls while your white tower is shooting at them. Something. Thank you, A0043, for the follow. Yeah, and at this point, Bruno, the game is over, really. You're sitting on 8,000 food. That could be units. That could be technologies. You still have feudal longbows. You need to invest in your techs. I mean, it's cute taking a sacred site, but what you need is units and technology. Your eco is fine. Yeah, I didn't know a trebuchet did decent damage to a manga now. Yeah, these royal cannons are just gonna shred through all of your defenses. What's the Windguard producing? Have you been making Windguard army? Click this, smash Q a couple of times. But honestly, Bruno, if you're watching this, what are we at for text? Blacksmith? Okay. Been doing a good job at blacksmith text. But where's the upgrade for your units? Don't neglect these. Yeah, and I mean, you've got these royal cannons on you. You can spam some Springles out of the White Tower. And, I mean, it's very cute trying to drop this stone wall, but they have cannons right there, my dude. They will blow right through this. This is a ranked game. There's a dude in a Discord I'm in who has never won a ranked game before. And I told him I'd review one of his replays and give him some tips. I don't exactly, I think this is only his 4th ranked match. So he's unranked, but we are looking at, this is silver or worse, honestly. This might be low silver. So now what do? You got your army here? Okay. I mean, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea if your units were at all upgraded. Just base trade. Go. This is basically lost. Go fuck them up over here. You should, but you gotta spend those resources. Yeah, unfortunately, you got nothing against these cannons right now. And I see you stream the men-at-arms in, but they are still just castle-age men-at-arms. This is good though. You got the right idea here, but it is too late. Those 2 cannons are gonna just rip through everything. Yeah, like Ix is saying, and the French didn't skimp on eco upgrades or on techs or eco upgrades. They got everything. They got elite men-at-arms. They got elite royal knights. You were trying to fight those with feudal age horsemen, and it just doesn't work. So, a couple of key points in summary. 1, I don't think you understand the English farm bonus. English farms need to be built around a mill. If you're building farms, build them around a mill. 2, you honestly, you lost the game when you're attacking the second TC. You left your military in the TC fire for way too long and lost most of them. If you had just pulled back your army, let the Rams do their job, and tried to snipe Vills coming out of there, this game could have gone a lot differently. Other bullet point, you figured it out eventually, but trying to attack through the other flank, the bottom flank, was something you should have done earlier to at least secure the gold so that you didn't hit Imperial with only 5 gold and no gold income. There was also a relic there you didn't pick up, but you did get the sacred site. And then I think the 4th biggest thing is not getting tech upgrades on your military units. That put you at such a disadvantage in every single fight. Also, those cannons, if you had taken the White Tower and just pumped out like 4 Springolds and microed them correctly, you could have stopped the cannons. You could have taken out the Mangonel. You could have probably swung the game around there. Your opponent had garbage economy. And unfortunately, you let the resources sit in your bank instead of spending them on either military or tax. And that is where you lost the game.